Well, good afternoon, everybody. Carlos Muñoz, we got Jared Campbell. We are veterans for cannabis. Today we're going to take a break from the subjects that we've been touching, and we want to do a hard reset. For me, I'm gonna call it my spiritual reset, following the tragic events of Charlie Kirk. Um, And again, I'm gonna call it tragic event. I'm not going to bring my personal opinion to this. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try to like I said, just reset. We need love in this country. We need love everywhere we at, right? Um, and this is what I tell folks, man. Debates. If everybody agreed on their beliefs, there's no need for debate, right? Uh, I understand, not everybody's gonna like, that's why we have debates because somebody disagree. I do not think, you know, we are in a place, where a father, a husband, somebody who was taking his time to go, on debate, whether it was to the right wing or to the left wing or whatever, right? This guy was taking his time to go out, to debate individuals. His big thing was change my mind, right? Why? Why do we gotta turn into violence? Why do we gotta make, those babies, man, those a 3-year-old baby? Come on, man, like that is, we are way better than that. What do you think, Jared?
Well, it's I have a right hand, I have a left hand, I have a right foot, left foot. It's and they all work together, right? They don't work apart, they work together. So and it makes us whole. So in a way, left and right, if they just worked together and had unity, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think about this from you know, you really hit on something too because, you know, we're both fathers, we're both husbands, right? And
Yeah.
we're raising our children, and we see that, right? We see that as two combat veterans as well, right? A man just
Mhm.
sitting in a chair holding a microphone,
I
just having
mean,
a
if
conversation,
that was if if that was the job that he was doing, that it's okay. You might get killed. Like when I went to combat, I knew that any moment couldn't be my time, and I made peace with that. But that was the job.
right?
You know, um, yeah, that was. I think for me, and again, I do not want to get personal. But that kind of hurt me. It hurt me. It really did. Um, because it just made me realize how much values we're lacking. And that is both left, right, center, man. You're gonna find piece of shits anywhere you go. But those, and I don't know, man. I don't know because Charlie Kirk assassinated the kid, man. He came up in a good family, so where do things went wrong, right? Like, where in his life he thought, it was a good idea or it was necessary to just assassinate a human being. Why? You know, and again, and this goes. I also want to address, the school shootings. That is as, if not more important than in Charlie Kirk's life. And I do not want to put more one value in one or the other one more, right? They're all valuable, right? But what, you got a couple of kids praying and they get gunned down while praying. Like, really? Like, seriously, people? Like, if you hate yourself that much, I want to stop myself there because I'm getting a little bit emotional, right? But man, we need to live with love. We need to stop this BS.
Yeah. You know,
You know,
I'm sitting here. It is hard to keep it together. When talking about all of it, Charlie Kirk, the school shootings, and you know, I just want to remind people that God is love. So if God is love, we need to be love as well. We need to listen to one another. What's interesting is that the Bible shows us that that the disciples and the apostles they debated. They didn't always
yeah,
get, and some of them even parted ways for a while. You know, and so if it's also in our biblical history as well as in our historic history, and so debating is important, and having differences. There's nothing wrong to have differences.
there's
You just
nothing
have
wrong.
respect over having those differences without leading to hate, to violence, and I just wanted to say this: the Bible makes a really good case that no voice should ever be silenced. That no voice should ever be silenced, and so I think that's important, even to free speech. That no voice should be silenced, regardless whether we agree or disagree with the voice. It all should have the right to be heard.
I want to leave you with this. You know, um, before you decide, I want to leave everybody this message, okay, of love and kindness, but also think about things, right? Or if you are the one passing, sending all this hate on Charlie's Kirk page or talking down to people who support them, Char again, I'm gonna stop there, right? But just think about it, right? If that was done to you or one of your loved ones, how would you feel? Put yourself in that family. If you're a husband, what if that was a wife? If you're a father, what if that was a kid? How will you feel about it? Put yourself in them shoes before you pass judgment or before you have a hateful opinion because you have a different opinion or because you think he was evil, right? I guarantee you we do not we don't always agree with our parents, our family. Just imagine if that was one of yours. How would you feel? And how would you want people to come to you? And what kind of message would you like being said to you, right? I know I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the most holy person. I get angry. I get emotional. It is what it is. And I'm man enough to say it. Okay? So if I ever hurt somebody's feeling, my apologies. Okay? I'm a human being too. But again, that does not cause for you to take life of a father, son, husband, uncle, nephew, brother, and that's where I want to leave you with. Jerry, you got anything good for the group?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know. Thank you again for tuning in and listening. And you know, I'm gonna I'm right there with Carlos. You know, I'm definitely not perfect. I definitely know no righteous person myself. Just like Carlos, I get angry, I get upset, I get emotional, I get passionate, I can be arrogant, sarcastic, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's never personal. You know, it's who we are at times. You know, it's I think it's just the territory we tread sometimes. But you know, what's happening in this country, it needs to turn and turn quickly because I pray at night that things change because I'm really worried at the things I see, and I pray every night that we can turn this thing around before it's too late because none of us want to see this happen again to anyone, and it shouldn't happen again to anyone from any party, left, right, center, libertarian.
Or, or school shooting. That shouldn't be happening.
Yes,
Nobody should be
yes,
dying, okay, over hate. Okay, not school shootings, not political shootings, not you don't like, no religious based shootings. Like, how about we live our lives, in ways that we can just get along. Yeah, just get along. We need to stop all of this, man. It's getting out of control. And I am not going to sit here and blame the gun. The gun is a tool just like a hammer. Okay. So let's stop this foolishness, and let's put blame and responsibility where it has to be. Okay. And opinions is not, you know, um, speeches are not an excuse, right? That's the bottom line. That's where I stand with that. I do. Let's skip subjects real quick unless you got something else to say. I'm Jared.
oh, good.
All right. All right. Hold up. We do want to apologize to everybody who's been watching us for the inconsistency in videos. I hear good things. I hear people like actually listen to us. So I want to thank everybody. And as we continue, me and Jared, we're continuing to try to bring as much content regarding cannabis, the medicinal, the politics of it. Maybe talk a little bit about how religion does fit in what we do, right? And again, this is opinion based. Everybody got their opinion, and we'd love to have people over to debate that opinion. Okay, change my mind. That's all you gotta do. Change my mind. But I know here in the next 2 weeks we're going to continue on the psychedelics part. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We've been doing some good research and we've been getting some good content on that. So that's going to come in next 2 weeks. We had some difficulties last week, but we just want to come in and do a quick you know message to everybody. And I would tell you, light up whatever you decide to light up and just be happy, man. Right? We are good. Everybody, if you have issues, 988 is suicide hotline. Okay? If you know me and you got my phone number, give me a holler. Right? If you think about doing something stupid and you need to ask somebody if it's stupid, ask me. I will let you know it's stupid. Okay? And then I'll come get you and I will have a beer. Right? But we need to stop. And we need to start being Americans again. Uh, so, it's, I think I got disrupted. We're going to do continue doing psychedelic message. We want to talk, continue based on what we had talked about last week and talked about, the THCA. We have found some very good information about it. CBD and stuff like that. I also want to give a big shout out to, Rooted Water, the store. I will share more about my store coming up. Um, and yeah, we got a lot more stuff coming up, but anyhow, guys, this is what I want to leave you with. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Jared, you got anything good for the group?
All I can say is fly high, fly high.
Yeah. Love and peace, man.
Yep,
Love and peace.
yep, yep. Yes, sir.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
So, God bless everybody. You know, I really hope you got some good stuff at home for you to do what you do. And again, if you think about, anything you shouldn't be thinking about, call somebody. That's the bottom line. Call somebody. It's gonna be all right. We good, Jared?
We good. We good, my brother.
All right, people. God bless everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you. Peace.
Peace out.